Welcome back. There's no doubt the people of Ghana love football. The West African country hosted this year's Cup of Nations and saw their side reach the semi-finals. One sport you almost certainly wouldn't associate with Ghana, though, is rugby. But surprisingly, the sport is establishing a foothold there, as Carrie Brown reports.
Every schoolchild in Ghana plays football. In this soccer-obsessed country, success in the professional game is a young boy's dream. But this school is different. It's one of just 9 junior highs to support the country's fastest growing sport, rugby.
Rugby is a fast game, and you can use your hand to play the ball or your leg. That's why I like rugby.
From here, you move to this side, okay?
Spearheading the project, a former pupil, Ghana international Amuzu Salim. Just 7 years ago, Amuzu, like most of these children, knew little of rugby union. He was spotted as a potential talent by rugby coach Guy Shaley, but then Amuzu's sport was basketball. Rugby was a game he first termed oddball.
When I saw the ball, I said, hey, is it an egg or what? And then the coach started laughing. He then pretended telling me, oh, it's an egg from South Africa. I said, oh my God, is it an egg of crocodile or a snake? Then he started laughing. And he told me, he said, you know, it's a new game. Not a new game in the world, but a new game in Ghana. So, and the simple rules are, you don't give forward pass. All the passes should be sideways, but you move forward. So I thought, hey, what sort of game is this? You pass backwards and move forward. It's amazing, I mean, for the first time, but I realized it was full of fun.
A talent for the new game quickly made this young skeptic a key player in an unlikely success story. Amuzu was spotted by Shaley, a rugby coach from Cameroon who travelled to the country to form a national side. Shaley's dream was made possible by local businesswoman Gifty Annan Myers, who worked tirelessly to raise funds and persuaded the government to form the Ghanaian Rugby Association. The government supported but did not fund the project. Despite that, just 2 years later, Amuzu and his Ghana teammates entered their first African intercontinental tournament.
We know we will be the pioneers, which other people, some years, 20 years, but people will remember, oh, those who formed the first national team, they did very well in their first successful tournament. So we were determined.
The newcomers defeated both Togo and Mauritania, only losing to tournament favourites Nigeria to finish an impressive 3rd in their debut.
We surprised everybody. They were asking questions. When did they start playing rugby in Ghana? Yes, our minister at the time was so supportive. When the players came back, you know, they were feted and he even gave them a bonus.
But a year after Ghana's success, coach Guy Shaley tragically died. Ghana Rugby, with its limited infrastructure, was unable to attract a replacement of Shaley's calibre, while a government reshuffle ended all hopes of the side of 2003, capitalising on their success.
The minister went to the extent of going to Newcastle. He went to the rugby academy there, and they called me from there, wanting us to sign a memorandum of understanding to see if we could even send people there for training. That's how far he went. Unfortunately, he was moved to another ministry. He's now a Minister of Finance. He's controlling all the money now. Yes.
Not giving it to you.
We're not giving it to us.
Both Amuzu and Gifty, however, refused to let Shaley's dream fade. While the senior side lacked the coach to take them further, Gifty raised funds to train Amuzu as a youth coach. He's dedicated the past 4 years, the majority unpaid, to coach the under-18s, under-15s and under-12s, devoting his life to the cause.
I'm not boasting. To be frank with you, almost all the things that are playing in Ghana now came through me. And it's like, for now, I cannot say I'm the coach of this team because I have to go to all the clubs, all the schools at the same time. So for me, I would just call myself a rugby developer. For now, we have a very strong under-18, mostly from the senior secondary school. Although we started with them from touch rugby and then gradually trained them to contact, and now they are wonderful players playing to the highest level. I will be very happy to see my player playing at the international level, beating countries like England, you know.
Amuzu and Gifty's commitment is now being repaid by a new generation of rugby enthusiasts.
He's a very good coach because he trains us very hard and he wants us to be good players. I want to be a professional rugby player who will be playing in other countries.
I'll train hard and be a professional player in the future.
Yet these children's ambitions have little chance of being realised without an increase in government support. This year, Ghana successfully hosted football's African Cup of Nations. The government invested over $157 million on stadia alone. In contrast, the government has only recently agreed to pay Amuzu's wages and support one more rugby development coach, while the national team receives funding for just one tournament a year.
This is the pitch the kids play on, and this could be lethal for any young child tackling onto it. The fact is that kids here play touch rugby for far longer than children in any other rugby nation, simply because it's too dangerous to compete on these pitches. There's only one rugby pitch in the whole of the country.
Amuzu and Gifty's efforts, however, have been recognised by the rugby charity Touraid, which helps support rugby development in underprivileged countries. The charity now plans to fly Amuzu and a select side to England to take part in an international under-13s tournament. They'll compete on grass pitches and receive top-level coaching.
This trip is not about the experience on the pitch here, or the experience in Cobham or Oxshott, but the experience afterwards. And for us, that is the key message that we're giving out.
Somebody out there internationally has given us recognition. Please do something about it. Look at these lovely children playing rugby. They need to be developed. So please look our way. That's the message I'll send to government.
Look at the person you are giving the pass to.
For Amuzu, the basketball-loving skeptic turned rugby evangelist, government support remains a distant hope. But his old coach would surely be proud of the progress he's made with that peculiar crocodile egg. Carrie Brown, Al Jazeera, Ghana.
Well, while rugby is only just getting started in Ghana, one sport that's firmly in the hearts of South Koreans is archery. The country's men's and women's teams regularly occupy the top spots at international tournaments, and the women in particular are gearing up for gold at this year's Beijing Olympics, as Joanna Gajrowska reports.
When it comes to archery, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone better at hitting the target than South Korea's women. They've won all 11 individual and team gold medals in the last 6 Olympics, and they're bound to be the ones to beat in Beijing again this year. Just like other elite teams, they practice hard. So what is the secret to all that Olympic success? The archers themselves think it could have something to do with their genes.
Our sensitive fingertips descended from our ancestors, our spiritual strength and stamina lasting until the end of the match. That is the secret.
But winning comes at a high price. The team and their coach have a heavy burden on their shoulders.
Our aim is to be the best all the time. Our players and officials have been doing all they can to be prepared for that.
If we win 2 gold medals, they say that's normal. If we cannot win 2, they will be disappointed. So we carry a huge burden.
That high expectation has already brought them 2 decades of victory in the sport, and it could well put them on target for more Olympic glory in China this year. Joanna Gajrowska, Al Jazeera.
Don't forget to check out our website, aljazeera.net/English, where you can find all the latest sports news, watch any of our Sportsworld stories again, and let us know what you think of the show. But that's it for this edition of Sportsworld. I'm Karthina Seagram. You're watching Al Jazeera.